Chapter 1: The Prehistoric World. 230 million years ago, the age of the dinosaurs began. The first baby dinosaurs poked their heads out of their eggshells and looked around for something to eat. The Earth was a very different place then. North America didn't exist, neither did Africa or Europe. All 7 continents we know today were clumped together into one huge landmass that we called Pangaea. Pangaea was surrounded on all sides by water. The center of the huge continent was a hot desert where not much could survive. A giant ocean covered the rest of the earth. Near the coastlines, the ocean cooled the air. Cool air and water made it possible for fabulous life forms to develop. Ferns grew along the coast. Moss covered the rocks. There were forests of pine trees and palm trees. Spiders and beetles crawled about. The ocean was full of life. There were huge swimming reptiles, animals like lizards and turtles, only bigger. Some, called ichthyosaurs, looked much more like dolphins or fish. They were predators that hunted fish. Others, called plesiosaurs, were more like gigantic shellless turtles with incredibly long necks. They may have eaten baby ichthyosaurs for lunch. Reptiles also dominated the land at that time. There were none of the animals we know today. No dogs, cats, giraffes, monkeys, or apes. There weren't even any birds, and definitely no people. It was mostly a reptiles world, although the ancient reptiles were not the same reptiles we know today. This was the beginning of a time period called the Mesozoic Era. It began 250 million years ago, or 250 Maya, as scientists say. It lasted until the dinosaurs died out around 65 million years ago, or 65 Maya. The Mesozoic Era is divided up into 3 parts: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. The very first dinosaurs appeared on Earth during the last part of the Triassic, about 230 Maya. Dinosaurs existed on Earth for about 165 million years. When exactly did the first dinosaur appear? It's hard to say for sure because dinosaurs evolved from other reptiles over millions of years. But the earliest dinosaur was probably a raptor, a small animal weighing between 8 and 22 pounds. With jagged teeth, long legs, and long claws, it was a small, quick, deadly predator. It lived in the forest where it chased and captured smaller creatures. It probably ate plants, too. As millions of years went by, different kinds of dinosaurs came into being. How did that happen? The answer lies in evolution. Evolution is the name for changes that occur in living things over time. Charles Darwin was a scientist in the 19th century who studied nature. He wrote a famous book about the idea of evolution. Darwin said that in each species, some would survive longer than others. It was not just a matter of luck. Those that survived were the best suited to thrive in the world. They lived long enough to have babies that would be born with the same strong traits. Animals of the same species without those traits did not live as long. In time, they died out. Darwin explained that over thousands and millions of years, all kinds of species developed, including human beings who evolved from ape-like creatures. Species. What is a species? A species is a group of animals that may have common characteristics. To be within the same species, the animals in the group must also be able to mate with each other and have babies who can later have more babies. A poodle and a Labrador retriever are both dogs. They may not look much alike, but they do belong to the same species. Canis lupus familiaris. That's because most of these kinds of dogs can have puppies together, which in turn can have puppies of their own.